day 5, we have our full body warm up. You could do this before your workout. You do 30 seconds to 1 minute, depending on your fitness level and how much time that you have. So when we do our warm up, we want to think about being mindful, connected to the body. Think about that pelvic floor, thinking about your breathing. So when you're doing your warm up, it's not for you to like work super hard. It's just moving the body. It's warming up the joints, it's warming up the muscles, getting your body ready and prepared to do a workout. When, let's say you're doing a glute workout today, you want to focus your warm up on warming up the hips, warming up the glutes, warming up the lower body, and yes, warming up some of the upper body, right? Because everything is involved. But I would focus, if you have a specific workout that you're doing that's targeting a specific area, that you design your warm up based on what you're doing. So so one other thing, so if you can't come up with ideas for a warm up, I'm just giving you a full body workout warm up, because that's what we are going to do in our videos. But also when we do our I have a video next week that talks about glute activation. So if you're doing a booty day, you'll want to do the warm-up series that we're going to have next week. Okay, so let's get started. Each exercise, there's 10 exercises. You could perform 30 seconds to a minute depending on time and fitness level. All right, so let's get started. I'm not going to do the full warm up. I'm just going to show you the exercises. Okay, so first one, we have our march. So you just woke up and you're like, okay, let's get going. Just warming up the knees, warming up the ankles, through the hips, even through the upper body. I'm not just hanging my feet here and stomping my feet, right? So we're fully activated. Have that core pulled up with the pelvic floor. We want to think about our breathing still. Exhale, pull up that pelvic floor. All right, so 30 seconds to a minute has passed, and now we're going to the second one, which is a jog. Just jogging in place. So bouncing off those toes, core's engaged, shoulders are upright. We're not slouched over, obviously, we're upright. Focusing on that breathing, pulling in that pelvic floor, having your core engaged. So we want to brace our core while we work out. So you can brace your core as if like someone's going to give you a gut punch. So someone's gut punching you and you're like, oh, and you brace up. That's essentially kind of what we want to be doing. So we just want to have our core pulled in, not squeezing super hard, just pulled in so that corset muscle, if we're thinking about our TVA, comes around and hugs our belly. So we want to be able to pull in, okay? So bracing that core. And then 30 seconds to a minute has passed. And now we're going into a quick jog. Thinking about that breathing. Okay, 30 seconds to a minute has passed. So now we're going into a more narrow squat, toe touch. So if you can't touch your toes, don't try to reach forward to touch your toes and compromise your form. It's just try to touch as far as you can. Okay, so squat down and up, and then deadlift, so straight leg, bent and up. So how that looks is we're going to go into squat. So squat back straight. I'm not hunched over like this, okay? Straight up, and then deadlift. So that's straight legs, hips pushed back, back straight, legs straight. Not completely locked out. There's a soft bend in the knees. Okay, up, squat. Focus on that breathing and that pelvic floor activation. The more you go, the deeper down you may notice that you go with the touch. You'll notice that your muscles are starting to warm up. When they start to warm up, they start to untighten. So it basically allows your body to stretch out even more, have a little bit more flexibility with a warm up. Okay. Good. 30 seconds to a minute has passed. And now we're going to go into the next one. So we're going to go into a normal stance squat. So whatever your normal stance is. Some people have a more narrow stance. We'll get into this on form and technique video. But just quick. So making sure your hips, knee, and foot, that when you're squatting, that your knees are not caving in like this. Okay, you want them pushed outward. And more outward, the better, okay? So when you squat down, keeping that back straight, core engaged. All right, so squat, and you have your hands behind your head, squat. And then sumo squat, so step out. Okay, normal squat. Sumo squat. Squat. And I'll just give you a sideways view. So normal squat, sumo squat, normal squat, sumo squat. Okay, so 30 seconds to a minute has passed, and now we're going into reverse lunges. So reverse lunge, so you step back, down, and you can place your knee on the ground, and when you start warming up more, keeping your leg off the ground. So touch, up, down, touch, up, step back, touch down, up, and see now I'm not touching the ground with that back knee. Stay straight. Okay, 30 seconds to a minute has passed. And now we're going into a forward lunge. So now you're stepping forward. Okay, so step forward, and then we have a reach over, stretching the side of the body. Okay. Up. Oh, other foot. Down and over. Woo! Oh, that feels so good. I went out with the kids yesterday. If some of you may have seen my snap on my story of us up at the river. I thought we were going to have a nice relaxing day at the river. They said, oh, let's go to the river. I'm like, okay, it's super hot yesterday. Didn't mind dipping my toes in. Nope, these kids had a different plan in mind. They had us like walk knee deep up the river, like so far to this beautiful place that had all the sand, shallow water, but now I'm feeling it. Oh, my back and my knees and my toes for my sandals. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the next one is a downward dog to Cobra. So feet wide apart. I noticed that I'm slipping on this carpet, so I'm just gonna place my heels right to the back of the couch. and walk down. Okay, downward dog, head pushing through the shoulders. Walk out to plank and then dropping my back to Cobra. Oh yeah, this one feels good. Shoulders away from the neck, so we're not kinked up like this. We're pushed away. Good. Come back up to plank and push back into downward dog. Oh yes, this one feels so good. Plank and Cobra. Oh, I could just stay here. Plank and downward dog, pushing through the shoulders, butt up to the air. Plank, downward dog. Oh, I'll do this for like 5 minutes. Plank, downward dog. All right, so the next one, we're just going to increase this last one that we did, the downward dog to the Cobra. We're just going to add some push-ups in. So this 10th one is totally optional. I mean, you could try it, see how it feels. But if you're losing too much form, just stick with the downward dog to Cobra, okay? So how the modification is going to look. So downward dog, push up to plank to push up to Cobra. Yeah. Plank, push up, downward dog, push up. Okay. Plank. You can even drop to your knees for a push up. And Cobra. Yeah. And remember to breathe. Always remember to breathe. And I will constantly remind you to breathe. So, all right, so we're done the full body warm up. I'm like sweating right now. So that's actually such a good warm up. It targets every part of the body. So this is my go-to warm up when I'm just doing just a full body workout. So next week we're going into the glute system, so the booty system, and seeing how that all ties in together as well. So when we're activating the right muscles, then we're able to have optimal outcome. So if your goal is I want a bigger booty, or I want a lift up booty, this is how we activate. We activate to get that goal. If you're just trying to do squats forever, but you're not doing it with proper form, then there's no point in doing it. And you're not going to get that booty that you desire. So when you learn how to activate the glutes properly, then they'll fire up when you're doing your workout. So it's going to give you optimal performance. Okay, so today is Saturday. Tomorrow we have goal setting and check-ins. So I'm going to reach out to each of you tomorrow. Let me know if there's a good time that you have a chance to just have a conversation. We don't have to talk on the phone. We could, you absolutely could. But I'll send you an email, and if you do want to talk, just respond, hey, here's my number, would you mind calling me? Or we could FaceTime so that I can see some of your workouts. But yeah, all up to you, or just say, hey, I'm good, I'll just see you next week. That's totally fine too. So the check-in is for you, but also for me, just to see where you're at, if there's anything that you need or that you're struggling with or that you're finding that's amazing. Either way, we'll check in tomorrow. I'll start the check-ins in the morning. Just let me know today if there's a certain time tomorrow that you would want me to check in, and then I'll schedule you in at that time. Okay, so enjoy your day. I wouldn't suggest go trekking up a river, but if you're into that, go for it. I'm so gassed today, but I'm gonna set up this swing set. I finally got it fully painted, so now it's just putting it together for the babies. And they'll be able to go out and swing on the swings while the older kids are jumping on the trampoline. All right, so I hope you guys have a really good day, and just remember to breathe throughout the day. Just whatever you're doing, standing up, breathing through the ribs, exhaling, pulling up that pelvic floor. Just more of a conscious effort. When it becomes more of a conscious effort, when you're constantly practicing it throughout the day, it's going to become a habit where you're just going to start doing it naturally when you're not thinking about it. And that's the goal, right? So the more you practice it, the more you're going to know that this is the way I need to breathe. This is the way my body's supposed to move. It's supposed to function. And your brain's going to understand that, and it's going to click in. For your body to take this kind of training, so let's say you do it every single day and you do it multiple times throughout the day. I always have a hard time with my breathing just because of my asthma and then my tight neck. I usually revert back to my old habits. And now that I've been doing the videos and constantly reminding you, I'm reminding myself too, because I need a, hey, April, like, what? Stop breathing like that. Breathe properly, because it's only just gonna benefit me. So breathing through the ribs, allowing it to fill up, and then as you exhale, pulling up that pelvic floor. So just pulling it in, and it just tightens it up a little bit. So just take that. If there's nothing else that you're doing today, if today's your rest day does include breathing practices. So do those when you wake up. Do it constantly throughout the day. Sitting, watching TV, you could even do it, right? So you're just sitting, pulling up that pelvic floor. So you can do it everywhere. When you're driving too. All right, sitting at your desk, whatever you're doing, washing the dishes, you can practice your breathing. Okay, so homework, breathing and drinking lots and lots of water. And enjoy the day, have fun, and we'll see you tomorrow for the check-in. Just let me know if there's a specific time that you want tomorrow. Okay, bye.